What a film, though. I'm like, I feel a little bit emotionally exhausted, but also a little bit warm and fuzzy inside. That's usually how I get to the end of a Ghibli movie. I love kind of the synthesizing down of what it's like to have to grow up and like go through those growing pains, like starting with like moving away and having to like give up, all the people that you knew in your old school and like your old life, and you're like having to move on to something new because like I don't know how it's like in other parts of the world, but where I am, you go from elementary school, so you graduate when you're like 12, 13, and then you graduate into high school from like when you're like 13 to like 17, 18. And for me anyway, that we don't have a high school where I live because it's such a small like rural place that there just isn't a high school. I had to like take a bus into the city nearby to go to high school, so I had to like give up the school that I knew, gave up like most of the people that I knew because some people chose to go to one high school or go to another one because we were all kind of going different places. So it was like it felt like completely moving into like a new world to like go to a high school, and there were like way more people there and stuff. So like it kind of feels like that, of her like leaving her old school and her old life and having to move to this new one and kind of going through this more like magical, whimsical kind of idea of what it's like to have to like grow up and find yourself and like make friends and all that kind of stuff, and find goodness in the like strange and a little bit intimidating before she like moves on to like make a new life in this new place that she's in. So I really liked it. Rate the visuals, the world, animation, overall feel. Visually, there were some really beautiful parts in it. I'd say, I don't want to offend anyone, but 8 out of 10, I guess. Visuals. World, I did really like the world. I'd probably rate that like a 9. I really liked the world in it. Animation, there were some good moments in the animation too. Nothing super that super stood out to me, and I think mostly that's because it isn't like an action based thing. Like it's a lot of like quiet, more subtle things happening. So I wouldn't rate the animation super high. Like it was, obviously it looked really nice, but and there wasn't anything like that I thought like, oh, that's a weird bit in the animation. So I'd give that like a 8 2 on the animation, because nothing that like super impressed me about it, but nothing like super awkward and janky about it either. Overall feel, I loved it. I always feel it hard to rate overall feels right after like my general feeling of a movie, like right after I watch it, because I feel like I'm biased to be like, it was amazing, because I just like got out of like being a part of that. But at least a 9 out of 10 for like overall. I wouldn't say it's my favorite film, like anime film, but I did really, really enjoy it.